Hello, hello. Happy Tuesday. How the devil are you all? Is everyone okay? I hope you are. Trouble's back in the building. Sessa's back from her weekend. So we've had lots going on. It's a horrible grey old day out there. I'm actually going to get a cardy to go back over the shop because I've gone cold. It's horrible. Not nice at all. You kept me and Beth busy yesterday. Boy, did you keep me and Beth busy yesterday. So you all loved the solid fabric sale that we had on Bumbleberries. It was Solids and Bumbleberries was on over the weekend, and we eventually got them all done yesterday. So they all went out in the post. Hopefully some of you have had them already, but they should be with you shortly. We also did a raffle as well, which sold out mega quickly again. So we're going to pull that today. What else was I going to tell you about? I don't know. It's been a busy weekend. It really has. Really busy. I popped on earlier live while I was over the shop earlier. For those of you who didn't catch it, all the Dragonfly Dance fabrics have come in. So when I was on a Chanda last week, I had a sample with me of the project wallets in the June Taylor project bags done in the Dragonfly Dance fabric, and we had literally tens of people emailing and messaging saying, oh my God, I love those fabrics, can we have them? They are discontinued, but my wholesaler did actually have some left. So I've managed to get some and I've put them on the website. They are now live, they're up and going. Plus there was another one that I showed on the live as well. I might actually pop live again when I get back to the shop because there's a load of other new fabrics that have come in, which are stunning. I don't know, you lot of you have been following us for ages will know that the best fabric in the world ever, to me, is a Dashwood Studio one. And I've used it for lots of different things. It's like white, it's got navy animals and stuff on. I've made a skirt out of it and all sorts. And I absolutely love it. Well, they've just brought out a revised range of it. And we've got it in the shop. So I'll show you that when I get back later, okay? I didn't want to bring all the bolts over, so I'll go live again in a bit. So first things first, we're going to do the raffle. First things first, let's say hello to some people. How is everybody? Where are you? So hi Jill, hi Carolyn, hi Jane. Bless you, that's sweet of you, Jane. Hi Jackie. Who's there? Hi Jean, hi Anne, hi Sheila. Lovely. Hi everybody. So we are going to do a bit of crochet today. I'll go into that first. But first of all, we're going to do the raffle. So let me just flip over to here. And the camera is very, very close today because I'm doing crochet. I've had to drop it all down so you can see the stitches, but it's very close today. So hopefully we're in the right place. So this was Cakes from Around the World. It sold out in less than 2 hours again. It was very, very quick. And I hadn't heard of half of these cakes either. There was loads on there Lamingtons I've heard of, Lemon Drizzle, Linzer Tort I've heard of, but who's ever heard of a Cladcacker? Not heard of that one. Or a Bibinka? I want to look them all up now. Anyway, drum roll please, people. Hello. Hi Sarah, you're on the way on a train to Seville. Beautiful. Hi Emma, hi Lindy. Right, so I'm going to scratch away the panel and see who's won. So as per usual, it's £180 worth of stuff. So you get 5 metres of fabric of your choice, a metre of wadding, and then there's jelly rolls, there's charm packs, there's panels, there's patterns, there's all sorts in the little goodie bag, but it's £180 worth of stuff. Ooh, I don't know what this one is. I'm going to tease you a little bit. We're going to go one side to the other. Right, okay. Oh, where is it? Oh, it is a Medovic. Can you see that, guys? Medovic. And so that is Sonia Condon. Sonia, I don't think you won, not last time before, you jammy girl. She's got the luck of picking them. So Sonia, so it came out as Medovic. Medovic? I wonder if that's how you pronounce it. Medovic. Medovic sounds Russian, doesn't it? And that one came out as Sonia Condon as the winner. So congratulations, Sonia. I will be in touch. So I'm going to pop that one under there. Hi, Cheryl. You're enjoying the day off with a bit of sewing. Oh, lovely. You're going to have to get a bigger card. I know. Bigger card means bigger prizes, doesn't it, as well? So who else is there? Oh, lots of you just saying congratulations. Jackie, you've just posted the letterbox. Block. Amazing. We've had a few more come in actually the last couple of days. If you want to be part of it, I'm going to be really, really strict. Okay. It has to be with us by the 1st of July. Okay. Just because Sarah and I have got to start planning, putting it together, getting it put together, quilted, all the rest of it. And on top of everything else, and the fact I'm away for a week in July and Sarah's away for a week in July, we're going to be strict. Okay, so please, please, please get them posted to us this week. All right, 1st of July is the cutoff. So I think that's everything to tell you. Hi everyone. Hello, hello. Oh, sorry, I'm just scrolling down so I can see you all. Oh, don't worry about being a bit late, my dear. That's absolutely fine. Lovely. Right, so this is a little bit self-indulgent, this one, okay? So back a few weeks ago, do you remember me telling you about the Kurt Geiger bag that I absolutely loved, but my husband refused point blank to pay £179 for? The little one. The big one's like 289 quid. But this is like a little crossbody one. And he was like, I'm not buying you that because frankly, can you do an updated list of the ones you've received? I did send it in. Taryn, I have had yours. I will do an updated list, I promise. I'll do that later on today, okay? Yeah, frankly, my husband was like, I'm not buying it, you could make that. So I was like, well, that's actually, that's quite sensible. I could make that. So I was showing you the other day that I was making all these beautiful granny squares to make this little bag. And then I thought, right, how am I going to join them? Because they've got a slightly unusual join here, a join that I hadn't seen before. I could see by the look of it, it wasn't just sewn together. There was some sort of like crochet as you go type join as you go method. So I started researching them, the joining methods, and I found loads. No, not 9 times out of 10, I will literally just sew them up, literally just whip stitch them together or mattress stitch. And I know when you were doing the crochet along with Sarah, she talked through joining methods for you. So you can ladder stitch them or you can just whip stitch them together if you want. However, a lot of people do, and I do as well, because I don't like the hand stitching with crochet. A lot of people like to crochet them together. So I did a bit of research on some different ways of crocheting them together. Now, the main, like the traditional way of doing it is literally putting them, you put them backs together, wrong sides together, and then just double crocheting all the way along. But when you open that out, it leaves a real ridge. You've got a proper sort of, almost like a piped edge. And I don't like that. I don't like that method. So I've got 3 different ones to show you. So this one, which you can see is nice and flat, both sides. You've got a little bit of a obvious, the fact wrong and right side, but it's beautifully flat. And that's actually called a flat slip stitch, okay, which we'll go through. This one, which I quite liked, I don't know, hopefully you can see this. It almost looks like zigzags. Can you see? It looks like a zigzag pattern. Am I in the right place? Can you guys see these? This is, surprise, surprise, called a zigzag slip, but I quite like that. It gave a little bit of texture without being bulky. And then this one, which is the one I actually think they've used when I look at the picture, is called a flat double crochet join. So instead of the original like double crochet where you get this horrible, it's not horrible, lots of people like it, and it's just personal taste. I don't like it personally. You get this like ridged join. This is a beautiful flat join, and I quite like the sort of, almost looks like little arrows going through. Quite liked that. And it's nice and neat on the back as well. It's really lovely and neat on the back. So I thought we'd go through these 3 today, just for those of you who are crocheters. You can see it, brilliant. Okay, good, good. I sort of moved the camera so it was nice and close to my hand so everybody can see it. So I thought we'd start just with the flat slip stitch, okay, which is nice and easy, okay. What colour do I want? Let's put this colour on that side. So I'm going to pick one of the colours. So what have I got here? I've got the green. Grab the green, and you just start with a slip knot onto your hook. So slip knot it onto your hook. All right. And then you're going to find your corner spaces. So your corner spaces are those, obviously the little chain 2 spaces here. But it doesn't have to be granny squares. You could use this for anything. So hi Carol. No, thank you for joining us. So I'm going to slip stitch into this corner space here. So what I mean by that is I'm going to find that space in there, pull through, and then go straight through. like that, and then tie that down nice and tight so it's attached back to the square. Okay, now I'm going to have to manipulate this a weeny bit so that it's going how I want it to. Okay, what we're going to do then is we're going to find the next stitch. Okay, so what I mean by that, let me just pull that again, is, you know, your little V's, we're going to find the back loop of this one. Okay, so that first stitch there, which are like little VC shapes, you're using back stitch on this side, and you're going to use back loop on this side, like that. Okay, so I'm going to use the back loop on both sides. And what I'm going to do is literally slip stitch along, slip stitch through. So let me grab the yarn. Oh, I did this the wrong way around. I should be started that side. Don't, hang on. Sorry guys, being an idiot. Should have gone into that one. So, because I'm going upwards and I want them to go that side. There we go, like that. So first thing I'm going to do, I've slip stitched back into that one. Make sure I've got not the tail, I've got the yarn. I'm going to go into the corner space here and slip stitch. So you want your yarn to be running between the two squares. This is easier if you are sat at a table, right? You can do them sat, you know, in front of the TV, or sat with a flat surface, put a tray table or something, you know, something on your lap. I found it a lot easier to do the joining. It got them nice and neat. So I've slip stitched into there. I'm going to go into the corner there. Okay, pick up that yarn. Hang on, let me get my finger. I'm trying to get my fingers right so that you can see it as well. Pick up the yarn and slip stitch. Oh, sorry, hang on. Slip stitch through the corner like that. Pick up the yarn and slip stitch through. There we go. Right, got it in the right position now. So you're going to work through the back loops only. So there's my first one there. So I'm going to go into that one, okay, and I'm going to go into that one there. So I'm picking up the two back loops like that, like wrap round. Now I did find it easy to go slow, so go through the one first and then pull both through both. So in that one, in my next one, pick up the yarn, pick up the yarn, go through that one and go through those two. So back loop, pick up my yarn, go through the first square. I found that easier to do, to go through that first one and then through those two, and you just work down like that. So it's a very simple one. So back loop, but it gives you a lovely flat join, which I really liked. So through that first one and then through those two. Back loop. It is that the sort of where I'm in the green, and I'm just matching up the sides. So go through that first one. Oh, come on, and it is a little bit, it's awkward doing it slowly as well, and through those. Okay, so nice and easy. Easier though if you keep your yarn between them. Everybody with me so far on that one? Okay. Oh, there you go, that one and that one and that one. Do a couple more. So back. Oh no, I didn't get the back loop. There it is, back loop. Keep that yarn down out of the way. My next back loop is that one. Pick up that yarn and go through that one. Oh, pick up that yarn. It's so hard doing it slowly for you. I got into a real rhythm with it last night and it worked fine. So there. So keep that yarn out of the way. Back loop, and I'm going from the top when I do that one. I'm not going underneath and pulling the back. I'm going through the top. Back loop and through and through. I'm not going to do the whole thing, but you can see that that lies really nice and flat. You see how lovely and flat that looks. You've got no, you know, sort of ridge or anything. If you just, in fact, actually, while I've got this here, because I will take this out. If you do the normal join, you do get a ridge. So if I picked up those two and then that one and double crocheted, this is what I mean by a bulky join, which some people like the look, and that's absolutely fine. It's just not my cup of tea. So I'm just doing this very quickly, picking that one up there. Okay, if you just double crochet them together, can you see how you get, I don't know if you can see, can you see how much sort of height you get, and you get this really funny bulky ridge where this is nice and flat. Okay, hi Karen. Is anybody having problems with the video keep pausing? Oh, I don't know, lovely. Is everyone else okay? Or is it just, it might be your Wi-Fi buffering? We've had terrible, even with that new Wi-Fi, they've been messing around with the junction box right outside the shop, and it's been playing up something terrible the last couple of days, but I'm over at the house, so it should be fine. Right, so that's the flat slip stitch, okay? So we're going to move on to the next one. I'm going to just whip that out actually, okay, because I haven't decided which one I'm going to join them with. What I thought we could do then was, which one should we do? Should we do the flat double crochet join? Let's do that since I've got the green here. Might as well add a green one onto this side. Okay, so again, this is the flat double. So you're going to go slip knot to start. I've got to remember this one because this one was slightly different. Yarn off. Right, I remember. Okay, again, you're going to do exactly the same. You're going to slip stitch to start with. So into the corner. So slip stitch into that corner like that. And then again, slip stitch into that corner, but from front to back. Don't be an idiot there. Like that. Oh, come on. There we go. It's trying to hold it at an angle for you. It's not easy because I'm not trying not to turn it. Right, so a flat double crochet. You go into this first stitch here and you do a double crochet. Okay, like that. You're going to take the hook out and pull it a weeny bit, that stitch, you don't lose it. From the front, you're going to insert your hook into the, contrast the parallel stitch on the other one, pick up that loop and pull through. So you're going to go in the left hand one, you're going to do a double crochet like that. Pull the loop slightly big, find the corresponding stitch the other side, hook back on, pull down, pull through. I actually find this one easier to do than the flat slip. I got into a real rhythm with this one and it worked really well. So double crochet up, hook out in that way, pull down and through. With this one, I didn't bother with the chain spaces on the sides. I just did the main stitches, like the main trebles. So I just found it got a bit tight and messy if I did the chains as well. Like that, find that corresponding stitch and pull through. Double crochet this side, hook out, stitch, pull through, and you just work again, you just work down and you get this lovely like little arrow pattern. I think this would actually look really nice if it was in a contrasting colour, because you can't really, so you end up with because I'm using green, if I was using it as a different colour, you end up with a proper little arrow pattern going on, which is really nice actually. So has anybody done any of these before, these methods? Which ones how do you join your crochet? Which ones do you use? Oh, I've caught that thread, don't catch that thread. You know, are you just sew it up with needle and thread? Do you just do a mattress stitch or a whip stitch, or do you crochet them together? Like I said, this was slightly self-indulgent because I was researching ways of joining for the back. But you can see you've got that lovely sort of little arrow shape going on. I quite like that. I thought it was a little bit more decorative. You can see as we're going up there, you've got the same going on here. I quite like that one. Okay, but really easy. So it's literally, you double crochet one side, you've just got to remember to slip off here. So double crochet that side like that, slip off, find your corresponding stitch, which is that one there, and then slip stitch through. You're not even slip stitching because you're not wrapping again, you're just pulling it through before you go on to your next one and double crochet. Okay, so that's the second one. That's your flat double crochet join, which I think is my favourite so far. I think for the bag anyway, I quite like that. It feels really secure, and I quite like that slightly decorative rope sort of look to it. So the last one, let's have that off here, was this little zigzag slip, which I've got to remember how to do it now because my brain's just gone completely blank. Hang on, let me take it out. So slip into that one, slip into that one, yeah. So there was a really, really good tutorial on Bella Coco on this one. I'll post a link to it later. Like that you're presenting crochet together. Ah, thank you. Yeah, I prefer to crochet my squares and stuff together rather than sew them, but that's only because I hate sewing in ends and it always feels like you're sewing in again. So again, I'm going to join into this corner with this one, exactly the same as the other methods. And then you're going to go into that corner there. So just, you definitely need the wool going through the middle of this one. So you're going in from the top. So you haven't sewn that end in. I have to be careful of that. Okay, just slip stitching into the two corners. This one, again, it's very simple. You're going to go in there and slip stitch on your left. And then you're going to find your corresponding stitch over here. Oh, hang on, missed it. Again, trying to hold it at an angle for you guys. It's not the easiest. Come on. There we go. And slip stitch into there. So wrap, pull through both. Find your next one along here. In, wrap, pull through. My next one that side, which is there. And I'm going from front through to the back, which is why you want, well, I would if I could get my needle. It's all right, I've sewn up on that bit and it's, there you go. Keep your thread, your yarn. Oh, I'm using the flipping tail. Oh, I'll just pull this one along for now. Slip stitch like that. Slip stitch into that one. Oh no, I was going to do a double crochet then. Haha. And then slip stitch into that one there. But keep the yarn in between the two, like behind the hook. You will find it easier. Here we go. Into that next one. Slip stitch into that next one there, slip stitch. We'll just do, and you literally slip stitch in either side, but you get this really nice, the other side is always slightly more difficult. You get this lovely sort of braided look, which I quite liked, but like I said, this was a Bella Coco joining method, and she did a brilliant video, so I'll put a link up to it rather than me and my nonsense, because she's got better cameras than me for crochet. There we go. And I'm just slip stitching either side like that. In fact, if I just stop there, you can see, hopefully you get this lovely sort of like zigzaggy look. You might be able to see it better on that one, where you see you've got this lovely sort of like zigzag, which gives a little bit of texture but no bulk, and it's a little bit stretchy as well, which I liked, so it's not going to like yank against the wool too much. So that's it for me today, guys. I thought I'd just do those 3 little methods for you, just so that you can kind of see the difference. In fact, actually, if I take that one off, the colours of the wool are lovely and bright. Thank you. These are the what they're called, the Sara Stories, and I'm so obsessed with this bag. I just picked out the colours from the Sara Stories. So they're a cotton acrylic mix, so they feel really nice to work with as well. To make this bag, I've got to learn how to line a bag now. Not the zigzag view, no, not your cup of tea, hun. No, it's just, and I think the flat slip stitch is lovely if you want it to look almost invisible, like there's no join at all, like they've just floated together. This one I found the easiest, which was the zigzag double crochet, and I actually quite like that slight sort of, it almost looks like a rope, I think, joining them. And then the last one was the zigzag, which is a little bit of bulk, and I think would look very pretty if you were doing all your granny squares the same, and maybe like you finished, I don't know, in white, and then you did this as a colour all the way around them. I think that would look lovely, really, really lovely, because it is quite a decorative join, that one. So yeah, that's it, my darlings. Real quickie from me today. I will pop back on. I'm going to go over the shop now, and I'm going to pop straight back on, so don't go anywhere, and show you those other new fabrics that have come in, because I'm just completely besotted with one of them, completely. I mean, I quite like the Dragonfly Dance. There's some really pretty ones there, and I love those new patterns that come in, but the Arctic, got to see the Arctic, and I'm going to show you when we get back. I'll be back tomorrow with block of the week, so it should be a slightly longer one tomorrow because there's a little bit more to show you. And then Sarah's back on Thursday with a marble maze, which I've no idea what it is. All I can think of is tilting a marble around like that. But that's not sewing or crochet, so I don't know what she's doing. She hasn't told me. Congratulations to Sonia. Well done for winning the raffle again. I think, is that your second or third time, Mrs.? I think you've got the lucky streak going on. In fact, if you want to tell us the lottery tickets, numbers, that would be lovely, please, Sonia. Good to see some options. Yeah, I think each has its place depending on what effect you want. Yeah. I think I like I think I'm going to do this little bag with the flat double crochet one. That's the look I like for that one. But the others I would definitely use for other things. Yeah. So cool. I'll see you in about 5 minutes over the shop. Bye.